Hello, and welcome back to another Bible story with Mom. Today, my mom will come and read us another story from the Bible. Today, we'll be reading all about when a group of people tried to trick Joshua and the Israelites. Are you excited to find out what will happen in this story? Well, then, let's begin.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to another story time. I hope that you are excited today to read about the next adventure of Joshua and the children of Israel. Wonder what city will they defeat next and how will they do it? Well, let's find out. But before we begin the story, let's do a quick recap. Joshua sent spies to spy out the city of Ai. And then he sent 3,000 men to defeat Ai. But when the 3,000 men went to battle, the men of Ai defeated them and killed 36 of them. When Joshua heard this, he fell on his face and cried to the Lord. God told him that they were defeated because there was a cursed thing in the camp, and he will not be with them if they did not get rid of the accursed item from among them. God showed them that Achan was the one who took the accursed items from Jericho, and they stoned him to death. God gave Joshua a plan on how to defeat Ai. He set up an ambush between the city of Ai and pretended to run away from the men of the city. When the men chased after them, they burned their city and defeated the men of Ai. Then they built an altar to God, and he read the curses and the blessings to all the children of Israel. And that's it. That's the last story. Now let's find out what our story will be for today. The story for today is the trick of the Gibeonites. But wait, who are the Gibeonites? And what a trick! Now I really have to read the story so that we can find out. So let's begin. And it came to pass when all the kings which were on this side Jordan, in the hills and in the valleys and in all the coast, heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and the children of Israel with one accord. Wow. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work willily. So the people who are living in Gibeon are called Gibeonites. And they heard of the mighty works of God and how they defeated Jericho and Ai. So they are coming up with a plan because their city might be next to be destroyed. Wonder what plan they will come up with. Let's find out what their plan is. And they made as if they had been ambassadors and took old sacks upon their asses and wined bottles old and rent and bound up and old shoes upon their feet and old garments upon them and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. Ew. Why are they putting on old clothes? And where are they going? Can you tell what they're planning? Let's keep reading and find out. And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal, and said unto him and to all the men of Israel, We come from a far country. Now therefore, make ye a league with us. Hmm, what is a league? Let's find out. A league is a deal or an agreement between two or more people. That's interesting. Wonder what agreement they are planning to make. Let's read on and find out. And the men of Israel said unto them, Peradventure he dwell among us? And how shall we make a league with you? And they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are you? And from whence come he? And they said unto him, From a very far country thy servants are come, because of the name of the Lord thy God. For we have heard the fame of him, and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorite, King Sihon and Og. Wherefore, our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke unto us, saying, Take victuals with you for the journey, and go to meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants. Oh, so they are trying to have a peace agreement with the children of Israel. But remember, God said that they should destroy all the people from out of the land. Wonder if their plan will work. Let's read on and find out. Therefore, now make a league with us. This our bread we took hot for our provision out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry and it is moldy. And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And these our garments and our shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey. Wait a minute. That's not true. These men are not being honest. These people are trying to trick Joshua. I can remember that the story said that they put on old clothes and old shoes and they got moldy bread. But they are lying to Joshua. They're saying that when they started on their journey, the bread was hot. They are being tricky. Do you think Joshua will fall for their trick? I hope not. But let's read on and find out. And the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them, oh dear, to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days that they heard that they were their neighbors. And that they dwelt among them. Oh no, this is not good. They did not ask God what to do, and they made a deal with the people who they should destroy from out of the land. What will happen now? Will God be angry? What will they do? Let's find out. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the third day. So they live 3 days' journey from where Joshua and the camp was. And they told Joshua that they lived a far journey. Oh dear, you're not very honest. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, We have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. So they could not destroy the people of this city because they made a promise to them. And they had to keep their promise because they swore by God not to hurt them. And so they must keep that promise. But wait a minute. What will they do now? I hope they have a plan. All right, let's read on and find out. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us because of the oath which we swear unto them. Let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had promised. So they have a plan. They will put them to work and they will work for the children of Israel. But do you think the men of Gibeon will agree to this? Well, let's read on and find out. And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, Wherefore have he beguiled us, saying, We are very far from you, when he dwell among us? Now therefore, ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. And they answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were sore afraid of our lives because of you, and have done this thing. And now, behold, we are in thine hands. As it seemeth good and right unto thee, do unto us. And so they did unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord, even unto this day. So the Gibeonites tricked the children of Israel because they were afraid. They heard of all the mighty works of God, and they knew that they could not defeat them because God was with them. But now they will have to serve the children of Israel. And they are happy to serve because this means that they get to live and their cities would not be destroyed. Wow, that's amazing. But wait, what will happen next in our story? What about the other kings that had planned to join together to defeat the children of Israel? Let's read on and find out. Now it came to pass when Adonizek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that he and his people feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than I, and all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonizek sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Piram, king of Jarmuth, and unto Japha, king of Lachish, and unto Debir, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me, and help me, that we may smite Gibeon. Oh dear. For it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Oh no, this king is not happy that Gibeon made peace with the children of Israel. I thought King Adonizek was going to fight with Israel, but they decided to fight the Gibeonites. So he's planning to join with 4 other kings to destroy the Gibeonites. But wait, what will the Gibeonites do? Will they try to make peace with them too? Let's read on and find out. Therefore, the 5 kings of the Amorite gathered themselves together and encamped before Gibeon and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, Slack not thy hand from thy servants. Come up to us quickly and save us and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So the Gibeonites are asking Joshua for help. Do you think they will help? Or will they think they're trying to trick them again? Well, let's read on and find out. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hands. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. So I can imagine that this time Joshua asked God what to do. So God is telling him not to be afraid because he is with him. Wow, wonder what amazing plan God will give them to destroy these 5 kings. I can imagine that that's a really big army. 5 kings coming together? Wow. Let's read on. Joshua went up from Gilgal all night and came upon them suddenly, and the Lord discomfited them before Israel and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Azekah and unto Makkadah. And it came to pass, as they fled before Israel and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them, and they died. There were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. Wow! What a battle! God was helping them to defeat this great army. God sent hailstones from heaven to help them to defeat these men. And they died when these hailstones hit them. And so more men died from the hailstone than from the sword. I can imagine that this was a big army with a lot of strong men. But they are no match for the children of God because God was with them. God is amazing, isn't he? Let's keep reading and find out more. Then spake Joshua to the Lord, and he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hastened not to go down for about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man. For the Lord fought for Israel. Wow. So Joshua wanted to defeat all these men. Can you imagine how many there were? But the sun was going down. It would get dark and they would have to stop fighting. So all these men will just escape, right? But Joshua told the sun to stand still, and it did. Wow, that's amazing. But can you imagine that it's time for you to go to bed? And when you look at the clock, it's late and it should be dark outside. But when you look through your window, you see that the sun is still shining. You would be confused, right? You would think, maybe my clock is wrong, or maybe the batteries are low. Oh dear. But what if you found out that your clock was not wrong? The sun is standing still, and though it's night, it's still bright. You would be so excited. You wouldn't want to go to bed, right? I think you'd probably want more time to play, right? Well, God is amazing. He can do anything. And he granted Joshua's request to make the sun and the moon stand still. So the moon did not come up and the sun did not go down. Oh, wow, that's amazing. But let's keep reading and find out more. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him into the camp of Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, The 5 kings are found hidden in a cave. And Joshua said, Roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave, and set men by it to keep them. And stay not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them into your hands. So, when those 5 kings saw that the children of Israel, with the help of God, were defeating their armies, they ran away and they hid themselves in a cave. Oh dear. They locked them into the cave using stones. How will they get out? There is nowhere for them to go now. Oh boy. Let's keep reading and find out more. And it came to pass when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a great slaughter till they were consumed, that the rest which remain of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. Then Joshua said, "Open the mouth of the cave and bring out those 5 kings unto me." And they did so. When they brought out those kings unto Joshua, then Joshua called for all the men of Israel and said unto the captains of the men of war, "Come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings." And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, "Fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom he fight." And afterwards Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hung upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain until this day. Wow. So Joshua defeated those armies and got rid of those kings that came to fight against God's people. But wait, they didn't stop there. Let's find out what else they did. And that day, Joshua and the men of Israel took Makkedah, Libnah, and Lachish, and smote them, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel. Then Oram, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish. That king made a bad choice, and Joshua defeated him and his people. Then Joshua and the men of Israel passed on from Lachish and smote Eglon, Hebron, and Debir, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel. So Joshua smote all the country of the hills and of the south. He utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord God of Israel commanded. And all these kings and their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp at Gilgal. Wow, what a mighty God we serve! God gave the children of Israel the victory over their enemies. They did not defeat 1 city, or 2 cities, or 3 cities. They defeated many cities in one day, because God was with them. He gave them the strength to keep fighting. Oh boy, these kings made a foolish choice by not fearing God, right? I think so too. The Gibeonites made a wise choice. They chose to make peace with the children of Israel. But these 5 kings thought that they could work together to defeat God's people. But God is almighty and all powerful. This reminds me of the story with Rahab and the spies. When she heard of God, she feared him and wanted to serve him like the men of Gibeon. Just like the men of Gibeon and Rahab, you have been listening to these stories and have heard of the goodness of God and how powerful He is and that He keeps His promises. But what will you do? Will you also make the right choice and change your life and choose to serve the true and living God by surrendering your life to Him? Or will you be like the 5 foolish kings who chose to fight against God? Make the right choice today and ask God to come into your heart and to save you. Thank you so much for listening to the story with me. God bless you. See you next time. Bye. Okay, boys and girls, it's question time. Are you ready? All right, let's begin. First question. How many days of journey did the Gibeonites live from the camp? 3 days? 7 days? Or just 1 day? Let's check our answer. 3 days. I hope you got that one right. All right, next question. What did the Gibeonites become to the Israelites? Enemies? Family? Or workers? Let's check the answer. Oh, workers. That's right. They had to cut wood and draw water, right? They were workers. Okay, next question. Where did the 5 kings hide? Do you remember? Was it in a hole, a cave, or a closet? I think this is an easy one. Let's check. A cave. That's right. All right, next question. What did God use to destroy the Amorites' army? Was it arrows, fire, or hail? Let's check our answer. Hail. God used hailstones to destroy the Amorites. All right, next question. What did Joshua tell to stand still? Was it a cat? Was it the sun? Or was it the people? Think about it. Let's check. The sun. Joshua told the sun to stand still so they could keep fighting. That's it. We answered all the questions and you did a good job. Well done. All right, you worked so hard. So it's time to have some fun. It's game time. All right, let's get some instructions. So look carefully at the pictures, then find the 2 pictures that are the same. So we need a pair. It must be the same. Let's look at an example. I have 4 apples here. Apple A, it's red, it has a shine, and it has a stem. Let's look at apple B. It's also red. It has a shine, it has a leaf, and it has a stem. So those two are not the same. Let's move on to apple C. So this one is also red, but it has no shine, but it has a stem. It's not like the others either. So let's look at our last apple. It's also red, it has a shine, and it has a stem. Which apple is the same as this one? The first one, yes. So apple A and D are exactly alike. They are the same. All right, I think you can do it. So let's give it a try. You will get 10 seconds to look at the pictures and try to find the two that are the same. All right, let's begin. Which two are the same? All right, time is up. Let's check the answer. A and E. They are the same. Good job. All right, let's try another one. Oh, we have moldy bread. Ew. All right, time is up. Let's see which two are the same. Oh, C and D. They are the same. I hope you got that right. Let's try another one. So Joshua told the sun to stand still. And we have the sun here. But which two are the same? All right, time is up. Let's find out. It's C and F. They are the same. They both have a sun and two sets of clouds. Wow. All right, let's try one last one. Time is up. Let's see which two are the same. Did you say A and C? Then you're correct. They are the same. You did a good job. Thank you so much for playing with me today. And don't forget, join me for a song. Goodbye. See you next time.